With that, let's focus now south of the border, where a New York grand jury is expected to reconvene today as former U.S. President Donald Trump awaits his possible indictment. Trump has been claiming for days, without evidence though, that he will be arrested in the investigation into hush money paid to an adult actress before the 2016 election. The jury, however, did appear to move a step closer to a decision yesterday, hearing from a witness favorable to Trump. But it is still unclear what the next steps in the case will be. On that note, let's now bring in Stephen Haberfeld, judge and former assistant Watergate special prosecutor. Thank you for your time for CTV News Channel. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Morning. So Tuesday has come and gone. There was no arrest. But if it is to be believed, reports are saying that if the arrest does happen, Trump wants to make it a huge spectacle.
That would be not atypical for him. We know that that's sort of his style. We also know from the Mar-a-Lago search warrant, which was really leaked by him, and it was all very confidential, that this is his style, and I think that it's not to be a surprise. But I would comment that we still don't know that the New York grand jury has even taken any action either to indict or not to indict.
Right.
So all of this is basically showmanship and setting the stage for something that hasn't yet happened.
Yeah, and drumming up support in a way for himself. But if charged, sir, in this case, what could those charges really look like?
That, I think, is something that is really subject to speculation. I have my own private view, which would be that I'm expecting a felony indictment, which consists of falsifying business records to commit or in aid of the commission or concealment of a crime, which would be the federal election laws.
Okay, now, as we know, these are uncharted territories in the U.S. where a sitting or a former president is indicted. If that were to happen, what happens to, according to you, Donald Trump's 2024 bid? Do you think that's going to tank, or do you think it's going to only shore up more support if he portrays himself as a martyr?
I think that you're asking me for something which is somewhat outside my judicial or legal background, but I appreciate the question.
Yes.
But I would say that I am expecting a bump in his popularity among his base and those who have been defending him, including those in Congress recently who've been doing that. But over time, I think that there is a distinct possibility, as evidenced by his principal rival at the moment, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, that people are going to get tired of it, that they don't want to deal with it, and that they will look for somebody who might be like Trump, but not Trump.
Then a quick question, though, sir. We're talking about just one case about hush money. Let's talk about the other cases, for example, the classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, then about elections in Georgia in 2020 and that phone call. So there is a lot against him that is still pending.
And something is, I think, being reported in the news now, which I think could be very, very important in connection with the Mar-a-Lago national defense information and obstruction of justice charges that I see as the possibly yet to come, but not in the distant future. There is a lawyer for Trump who dictated the false statement that was provided to the FBI that all of the sensitive documents had been returned, which was proven to be very untrue when there was the execution of the search warrant at Mar-a-Lago. And he has now been found by a United States district judge in the District of Columbia to have basically been used by former President Trump in such a way in the commission of a crime. And now that's in front of the district, I guess it's the U.S. District, U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia.
Right.
They've got a very short leash on briefing, which has been completed, and it is very possible that there will not be a stay, and that this lawyer for Trump will be ordered to the grand jury to testify about what he was ordered to do by former President Trump, and that's Evan Corcoran, the lawyer.
Indeed. A lot of anticipation with what happens in several of these cases against Trump. But we leave it at that. Stephen Haberfeld, former judge and assistant Watergate special prosecutor. Appreciate your time, sir. Thank you for joining us.